Hi there, Meena Srinivasan, Executive Director of Transformative Educational Leadership. And I'm just going to share a few thoughts on the importance of adult social and emotional learning. I wrote a book called SEL Every Day Integrating Social and Emotional Learning with Instruction in Secondary Classrooms. My colleague, James Gallagher, and I came up with this framework around building your SEL house. And I just want to spend a few moments talking about the blueprint and foundation for implementing social and emotional learning, or SEL. And the blueprint and foundation are really creating community or relationships and conditions for learning, which is the environment. And the reality is that creating community and conditions for learning, it starts with you, it starts with the educator. We set the tone. And the late, great Dr. Maya Angelou said that, at all times we were asking each other these four questions unconsciously. Do you see me? Do you care that I'm here? Am I enough for you, or do you need for me to be better in some way? And can I tell that I'm special to you by the way that you look at me? Now, in order to answer these questions, we have to be present with our full presence. And one of the ways in which we can do that is to deepen our adult social and emotional learning practice. And so there are a lot more resources all over the web. If you also want to check out my website, there's more resources there around SEL. But just some questions we can ask ourselves as we prepare to teach our students. What beliefs do I have about my students that may be impacting the learning experience I am designing? How do these beliefs help or hinder my students and myself? And that's really tapping into our self-awareness. And then tapping into our social awareness with how can this learning experience affirm the identities of the students in my class? For me, it wasn't until I went to college where I even had the opportunity to be in a classroom environment that was really affirming my identity. And then relationship skills. How will I strengthen my relationship skills with my students and or their relationships with one another through this learning experience? What specific actions can I take? Now, in order to really have SEL be an integral part of our teaching, we have to lesson plan with SEL in mind. And this is one of the ways in which we can do that, through really prioritizing our adult SEL practice and asking ourselves questions like this. And, thinking back to those questions from the late, great Dr. Maya Angelou, the unwritten curriculum is our presence. You can do all the lesson planning with SEL in mind, but what we know is that it is our presence, our loving, warm, inviting presence that makes the most of a difference. And that really is our modeling of social and emotional learning. And you don't have to take my word for it. The research confirms this as well, that educators' social and emotional learning skills are not only vital to SEL acquisition for students, but to their learning. A teacher's SEL skills are one of the most important factors when it comes to student learning. So I want to close with this beautiful quote that really sums up the importance of the adult SEL practice by Haim Gino. And it's, I've come to a frightening conclusion that I am the decisive element in the classroom. It is my personal approach that creates the climate. It is my daily mood that makes the weather. As a teacher, I possess a tremendous power to make a child's life miserable or joyous. I can be a tool of torture or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate or heal. In all situations, it is my response that decides whether a crisis will be escalated or de-escalated, and a child humanized or dehumanized. So let us remember that it is our mood that makes the weather, that our approach creates the climate. I wish you all the best in all of your work, and I wish you a beautiful day. Take care.